going to show you how to answer biology paper 1. So with me I have a picture of a famous actor, Popo. So in the last minute you find that this is how you're going to think. You sit down, then you realize to say that you are not studying, you haven't covered this, and you want to come up with a solution on how you're going to cover what you haven't studied before. Alright, so you're going to find that at this point you're going to have high level of catecholamines, especially the epinephrine, to make you sensitive and to make you active, in other words. So you have to know that biology paper 2 in terms of duration is 50 minutes, and in terms of the marks, that is 40 marks. So it is a lot. You have to balance paper 2 and paper 1. So the first part that you need to understand is that before you choose the option here, you have to understand the question. That's the first step. Understand the question. Okay, so after you understand the question, what follows next? You come up with your own answer. Once you come up with your own answer, that is when now you can fish out the answer from the options. So for example, this question is saying the sundew is a carnivorous plant that can trap small insect with stick hairs and then digest them. So here you can see that this one is trapping the small insect due to sensitivity. Okay, so let's say for example, if this is the plant, then when an insect sits here, it is going to sense that there is something which has sat on this side and it is going to trap it. Right, then apart from that one, so we can say here we have sensitivity in terms of trapping, sensitivity. Then when an insect gets stuck, other nearby stick hairs bend over to trap the insect. So they bend toward to trap the insect. So bending is more like movement. It's falling under movement. Okay, the body parts are able to move. So we have sensitivity and movement according to the statement. Then the question is saying which characteristics of living organisms are demonstrated when the sundew traps insect. So in this case, you can see that we have movement and sensitivity. So meaning to say the answer is just going to be D. Question 2. Systems of classification show which organisms share common descent ancestors. As you know, to say that we get characteristics of our ancestors through genes, and these genes, they are in form of DNA. So they are passed on from one generation to another. So you inherit your genes from, or your parents inherit the genes from their ancestors. Then you, as a child, you earn the genes from your parent. So the information get passed on into another generation through DNA. Alright, so the question is saying what is the most accurate system of classification? Since here we're talking about ancestors and the information is passed on from one generation to another generation in form of DNA, so meaning to say we can use DNA based sequencing. Alright, then for question 3 is saying which part of the cell controls the movement of substances in and out of the cell? So it has to be cell membrane. So you fish out cell membrane. Then the last part is saying the diagram shows a root air cell between cell particles. By what process does water move into the cell? So you know to say that it is osmosis, but if you see here there is no option of osmosis. So that is the way now the trick comes in. So osmosis is just a type of diffusion. So diffusion of water into the root air cell is osmosis. So when you talk of excretion, it doesn't suit. When you talk of dispersion, it doesn't suit. When you talk of secretion, it doesn't suit. So the answer is diffusion. So The last part that I want to share with you is that you have to divide your time wisely. Make sure that you have more information about these things. So if you're wondering how you can catch up in the last minute, you can just watch my video which I've created on biology paper 1, which I've answered different questions which may or may not come in your exam, but just to expose you to different questions so that when they bring in this way you are able to answer. So you can try to watch this video on my YouTube channel. So thank you very much for watching, and remember to subscribe for more videos.